There we go. We're live.
Perfect. Will we get feedback or know when when people are tuning in? Like we'll see
Yeah.
that on
So,
the
well,
phones,
you can
like the
turn
live
on.
side.
You can turn on. Let's see. If you go to, I think if you go to my profile on LinkedIn, I'm not seeing it there yet. I'm seeing us. Looks like we're
Oh,
good on
I'm seeing
YouTube.
us now.
You are okay.
Rehearsal happening now.
Oh, wow.
Look at us go.
You can turn on.
I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah, should be good. Yeah,
Right.
I did
Hi,
up a lot of
Abe.
notes today. Abraham, hello. Oh, okay. Now it's popped up for me. Yeah, sometimes it just takes a while on LinkedIn.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see. It looks like there's quite a few people signed up for our event on Tuesday. So
Yeah.
hopefully they show up. Hopefully we get to help some people out. I think that'll be nice.
Yeah, should be good. Let me mute this real quick. There's that. Mute that. There we go. Okay. Yep, I see the transcription and everything. Looks great. Okay. Yeah, I've got 3 monitors, so like actually looking at you is on the center one. I've got LinkedIn on my left and YouTube on my right. So I'm geeking out hard.
You are. You're like
Yeah.
pro status over there. I'm just looking at like the comments in the chat over on the side. I'm novice over here. Sue and I are just along for the ride.
That's right.
Nice. And then when people comment, you can
look at our following friends are tuning in. This is outstanding.
You can put it up on the screen.
Abe is here.
Oh,
wow.
This is so fun.
James is giving us confirmation. Video is clear. Sound is great.
Nice.
Awesome. Appreciate you, James. Yeah. So, I mean, so one kind of nothing to do with the technical part of the webinar, but one thing I'm trying to sort out, I currently offer the packages through TopMate. The one issue with that is, as far as I know, the package that you put together, you can put as many products on it as you want, but you can only feed it to one account. So it could either go to like my Google account for Google Meet, or we could set up one that's, just for this specific purpose. But then the issue with that would be, it's one schedule. So you and I couldn't do like a video conference, like you couldn't do a coaching the same time I'm doing a coaching.
Right.
We may be able to sort that out.
Right.
I'm looking at another platform, ClickFunnels, just to see if that can handle it. I think it can if you pair it with Calendly, but I'm not used to that. So right now I've got a question into the people that run TopMate to see if we can hook 2 different accounts to it so that they can purchase a package that has a coaching session with you and a coaching session with me and the resume and all of that, all the different things that we're going to offer, but that when they schedule your session, it goes to your Google Meet, and when I schedule my session, it goes to mine.
One thing that we could do is you go through to your normal thing, and then once they schedule with you, they get a link. I can send them a special link to a Calendly, like a little bit more manual, like not as sexy, but I feel like it would get the job done.
Yeah, I do have things on TopMate where, like when they order the resume, I have a demo resume that they can download where they could just see kind of what it will look like. Yeah, so we could probably do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting slow. I feel like that seems absolutely okay.
I get the feeling that eventually ClickFunnels, I'll be able to figure out how to make that work. But right now I'm just on the free trial because I'm just testing it out. So
free and easy.
But yeah, I think, were you thinking of like central themes? Like, what are you planning to talk about?
So I was thinking about talking about some of the themes that come up often are, like I said, people are interested in something new, but they don't know when. They just need that extra push. They need that reassurance, and they need a plan to get there. And so those are kind of the things that I'm going to talk about, not just the, one of, I've been asked to speak at a conference talking about like being a from being a trailing spouse to a trailblazer, which ugh, the trailing spouse, I have a hard time with that context anyway. But so talking a little bit about like always being last, what does that mean? I feel like there are a lot of people in my network and in my life that have been on the back burner. And so, what does it look like to put yourself first, but in an incremental way that doesn't feel scary or like you're, taking too much too fast or being selfish or anything like that? But what does that look like, and how can you do that in a way that is um, not just like responsible and manageable, but also do it incrementally so you can feel success and so you can feel traction right away. Because otherwise, we just quit. Half the
Yeah.
people that started out with that resolution to go to the gym have already quit going to the gym. So let's talk about like what we can do that was actually going to work for us, that's actually going to last, um, and build up over time, right? Like you're not going to
Yeah.
wake up tomorrow morning and decide to run a marathon. Like let's figure out what we're going to do today that's going to be helpful long term. And what do you need? What are the tools in your belt that you need to get there? Obviously, you need a plan or a goal of what you want to do. And then you need, the resume, the LinkedIn profile, all those things to match so that your personal branding matches what you want to do when you get there. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, good question. Trailing spouse. Um, so uh, it can be both in a corporate setting, but then also in a military setting. So a trailing spouse is typically the person who is following along somebody else's career path. So when you're married, let's say your spouse is in the military and they are constantly progressing up through the ranks, or potentially they're just moving to meet whatever needs the military has, the spouse is often left uh, trailing, like they're following behind whatever that job is or whatever that those orders are. So they're referred to as the trailing spouse. Um, and oftentimes, a lot of people in my network, and perhaps a lot of people in Albert's network as well, um, have either been the person who's been in the lead or who have been trailing. And it can be a very tricky situation because you want to be very supportive of your spouse, because they're getting these promotions or they're advancing, especially like an executive level. If you are, maybe a COO of a company, usually there's a 2 to 3 year, you know, maybe a little bit longer. Maybe you have 5 years and then you move to the next job and you move to the next job for professional progression. Um, and their spouse is left, to kind of keep up with the house, keep the kids, help with the move. But their career takes a back seat. So, how do you navigate that from being in this more of a supportive role to taking on more professional development opportunities without, it's an interesting line to toe, if that makes any sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's exactly right, Sarah. Perfect.
Just trying to play with the different screens
Yeah,
and
no, this is great. Are we
yeah.
make hopefully we're making sense tonight. This is
Yeah.
a late night here. But I love it. If there's any other questions, let's do it. We're might as well
Yeah.
get us warmed up for Tuesday. That way we know what to talk about on Tuesday too, to help anybody that has any questions. We should have labeled this happy hour with Sue and Albert because
Yeah. Well,
mostly
I
Sue.
definitely poured
Exactly.
Sue a glass of white grape juice over there. This is something in soda here.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I wrote down a bunch of ideas. This is kind of a conglomeration of a bunch of different talks that I've given and snarky comments on in LinkedIn responses and things like that. But yeah, just essentially the central theme for me is just, and I think this ties in well with what I thought you were going to talk about, um, is just having confidence in your own story and being able to communicate it effectively. And so I think it dovetails together because I'm specializing in the resume, and the the overarching thing that I see lacking and that I note when I talk to people is that they lack confidence in their own accomplishments and don't understand that their story is interesting.
Yep.
I've interviewed in the course of the last year or so that I've been doing this either for money or kind of, with leading into doing it professionally. I think I've interviewed 70 people was what I estimated earlier. I have yet to hear a boring story.
Yep.
And now I've even interviewed all kinds of people, military spouses, people with very little experience in the field they want to go into, people with, you know, zero confidence in their own skills. And as soon as you start asking them questions, the story is interesting. And it's not, I have cool friends, but it's not that all 70 of the people I've interviewed are these incredible rock stars. It's just everybody's interesting once you get them to start talking about themselves in detail. And that's what I try to get across to people, that if you can get that expressed in written form. So I have the one thing I came up with, and I was trying to get my wife to laugh at it, and I failed. So I said I have
If
a
she's not
foolproof.
laughing, nobody else will.
Exactly, but she
She's
thinks all
supposed to
my
laugh
jokes
at
are
you. It's
corny.
part of her job.
Yeah. So I said, "Hey, I've got a foolproof two-step plan to get a job that I'm gonna try and sell to people for
Yep.
$97." I'm just kidding. This is free. Foolproof two-step plan to get a job. You ready?
Ready.
Step 1 is get an interview. Step 2, win said interview. I
Well,
mean, how hard is that, right? Easy, 2 steps. Who can't do that?
I mean, I've tried a lot and it didn't work out well for me. So here we are
Abe
telling other
laughed,
people how to do it.
probably politely. But, um, yeah.
Thanks, Abe.
Merk, merk, merk. That's probably what Abe's laugh sounded like. Um, no, but seriously, it's silly, but if you can express your story effectively in written form, that's how you get into the interview. So step 1 is write your story properly or have me write it properly. And then step 2 is be once you get into the interview room, you've got to finish first at least once. So it's about a lot of it is about a numbers game. I mean, you've generally got to get a few interviews before you win one. So you've got to get the resume to the point that it tells your story so that you get multiple interviews. And then once you get into the interview room, you've got to speak in such a way that you communicate your story effectively verbally, because it does no good to have the world's greatest resume if you get into the interview room and you're mumbling and stumbling over your words and staring down at your shoes. You're going to finish second or worse every time you interview. And I've definitely had people that said, yeah, I'm getting interviews because my skill stack is just that strong and my resume is great or whatever. I know people, but as soon as they get into the room, they get the thanks, but we've gone in another direction every time.
Yep.
And so really, hey, 2 steps. That's all it is. Get your resume good enough that you can get into an interview room, and get your verbal presentation good enough that you come off as confident and interesting.
Yep.
And then I said there's a 2-step process to winning the interview. You ready for this one? There's only
Is
2
it going to be better than
things.
the last one?
Yeah,
Let's
Sue's
hope.
excited now. Better? I don't know. It's just as corny, I will tell you that much.
Okay.
So, two-step process to winning the interview. You've got to get across 2 things. Number 1, I'll make you money. This one's actually not that funny. Number 1, I'll make you money. So if the job pays $80,000, cool. You've just got to make them know that whatever skills you bring to the table are worth more than $80,000 to them.
Yep.
Easy enough. Number 2, I don't suck to talk to.
Mhm.
Because again, if you're a clod and you're just miserable to speak to in the interview room, they're going to say you're not a fit,
Right.
which is fine. I mean, who wants a person that's miserable to work with in the workplace? Nobody. So those are the 2 things in the interview. I'm worth the price. I'm worth the price that it took for you to bring me here, and I'm worth the price that it's going to take for you to pay me. And then I'm a cool dude. I'm a cool gal. I'm someone you want to have around the workplace.
Exactly.
Um, and that's about
One
it.
of the things that I have noticed with my clients and with people that I've spoken to, specifically within the military spouse community, is it's a mindset shift, right? We are talking
Yep.
seriously about what we have done versus what we want to do. And we often feel, um, you know, so much we shove under the rug, and we have been we've been the person that's been in the front row at those ceremonies, listening to all these accomplishments and not feeling like we have any ourselves.
Yeah.
And every single time that I talk to a spouse in this kind of a situation, they've been killing it. They have been, um, fundraising and holding up a squadron and holding down the fort, holding people's hands while they're getting horrible news, whatever it may be, across a variety of different, uh, skill sets. They're doing an amazing job. But then when it comes to actually putting it on a resume and how you translate that to a work skill or a professional skill set, they struggle. And so I think that'll be interesting to help talk through a little bit of that. Um, Amy, who we met on the online, you know, LinkedIn meetup with Ellen,
Hmm.
I told her, I said, you can be my case study, because she is very much one of those people who has been doing amazing things as a spouse of 20 plus years, but now just transitioned out and figuring it out and making
Yeah.
that job, that leap into a full-time role, having a hard time translating some of those skills. And I think that'll be interesting to meet and connect with other people.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think obviously you drew a contrast between the spouse and the service member, but I think the spouse and the service member run into very similar challenges, and this is definitely a parallel to people in all walks of life, and that is the spouse and the service member both have lived a life where it's not about you. The service member is team oriented. They are, my if you're an officer, staff, and you're a leader, my Marines did it all. If you're a corporate leader, my team members, the people, my subordinates, they did it all. I was just there supervising. I really did nothing. Um, and the spouse is, we give honor to the spouse's certain days and at retirements, and don't forget to thank your wife, or you're going to sleep on the couch for the next week.
Mhm.
Um, but other than that, the spouse is used to just subjugating their own needs for the family, for the service member's career. And so suddenly you're thrust into a situation where after God knows how many years, it is about you. Suddenly and it's a difficult adjustment. It's a change in mindset, it's a change in speech, it's a change in the way you write. See, so many service members just take fitness reports, performance reviews, and they cut and paste them into their first resume, and it's all the team, the team, the team.
Right.
There's no
I.
I did this, it's we did this, and you have to just break that habit. They're not in the room with you. They're not going to interview. And if they are, you're competing against them. So you need to talk about what you did, even if it was what y'all did. It's got to be about you, and you
Right.
need to talk about your own accomplishments with a healthy degree of pride, or at least confidence,
Right.
which
And
can always feel like arrogance the first time.
one thing to consider too is I often will speak with clients in that, um, speaking about themselves and speaking themselves in a positive light is not selfish at all.
Yes.
It's required. It's a necessity. And I work primarily with women, so a lot of times we are used to downplaying what we've done. And that means that we haven't had a seat at the table. That means that we haven't gotten what we feel is appropriate in terms of pay, promotion, et cetera, et cetera. And so it is canceling that culture of somebody's going to recognize what I do someday.
Yeah.
It's speaking up about it now and talking about it right when it needs to happen in the interview, on the resume, when you are making a pitch to somebody that you meet at a networking event. You have to have that ready and you have to be ready to go. It's not going to be, um, there might not be a second chance. And so talking about some of those things that will help you prepare and be ready for that spot. And I agree, Sarah, uh, Michael Jordan wouldn't have been successful without Scottie Pippen. Um, that's a classic reference, by the way. Can we give it up for Sarah to bring that back for us?
Sarah's bringing it strong tonight. Representing on
I
Saturday
agree.
night. Thanks for spending your
Thanks for spending your night with
weekend with
us as
us.
we are trying to figure out the technicalities of StreamYard and making sure we're getting to you in a clear fashion and bringing you some good advice, hashing out what we're going to bring next week. So, but yeah, it is a constant shift, and it's making sure that you know that you're making the most of your time whenever you're in front of an audience too. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways we can go with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm still working out an intro. I know we so I mean, maybe we're kind of grinding the sausage in real time here. Um so it may be a bit of a clunky transition at the end when the webinar is going to be worthwhile. Hopefully the people that are listening to this are getting some nuggets of whatever nuggets of wisdom we have to offer. This is just a tease, just a
Right.
taste
This is
of
the
what you'll
start of
get
it.
on Tuesday morning. So tell your friends. Um, but yeah, there is at the end there is a transition to we're selling a package.
Right.
I coach people on resumes. You coach people on career stuff. How many? You told me, but I can't remember. How many coaching sessions do you need to do? So for those in the audience,
Yep.
Andrea is working on a certification as
Yes.
a professional coach, and
Yep.
this is going to feed into that. So
Absolutely. So I am starting my training in a couple weeks, and I am really excited about it. And this is going to help me get the hours that I need so that I can, get a few more letters after my name. Not like I need any, but just because I want them.
you've already got
And
quite a few.
well, let's add a few more.
Yeah.
It helps. Um, what was it, Enrique? If you're still there, what is it? A certified disaster. I don't know. He has a good line for that one. Anyway, but this is going to help me add into those hours. I need a total of 100. So that we'll see how it works.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can get it knocked out here in the next year or so and have a few more letters come this time next year.
Awesome. So, but you're planning to in this package, you're planning to give 1 hour coaching. I
Yep.
do a 1 hour interview. That's why my resume services are awesome and everybody else is terrible. Because I take the time to hear people's stories and find out why they're interesting, and then that's why my resumes are good. Not because I'm good, but because you're interesting, and I just translate that into words on paper. Um, yeah, I don't know if Enrique's still here. For some reason, LinkedIn does not update the chat. Anyway, at the end of the presentation, maybe last, I don't know, 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe 10 minutes. We'll introduce the package that we're going to offer. We're going to do a huge, Andrea's got to do training. Um, I'm still running a business,
Yep.
but we are giving a significant discount on a coaching package. There's no
Yep.
commitment to show up for the thing. We didn't even do registrations. It's just going to be, hey, hang out, gain some wisdom, and then at the end, if you're interested in paying for some one-on-one time, we're down for that. So
Right. Are we going to allow people to send their friends as well? Like, let's say my friend Leah comes, but she also knows 3 other people that could use what we have. Like, can they just, hey, Leah told me about this. Is that all right? I'm assuming it's all right, but
yeah, people that didn't attend the webinar. Yeah, I mean, if we're not doing any kind of registration tracking, then I don't suppose we can
right.
really discriminate. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll have to talk about how long we want to leave the window open. I'm planning to. I've got some other projects that the wife and I are working on. So I'm planning to shut down all other kind of resume and coaching services and focus on this for as long as it lasts,
Okay.
for as long as we decide to have it last.
Okay.
And then, yeah, once that closes up, we'll finish up with the people that ordered, however many that is,
Great.
and we'll
7
yeah,
million.
yes. I hope not, because Jonathan Moxon is only one man, and there are only 24 hours in a day. So
We'll do what we can.
yeah. But yeah, I think that is. Excuse me. I'm gonna take a giant slug of cough syrup before Tuesday morning. But yeah, I think that's a successful tech rehearsal. If anybody's got any further questions, that's a good. We're coming
Yeah,
up on
drop
half
them
an
in the
hour.
chat so we can answer them quick, and then we're gonna get about our night of whatever. I don't know.
Revelry.
Well, I'm gonna start sewing here real soon.
Yeah, I'm not doing any revelry either. This is probably gonna be my only drink too. But anyway,
Very good. No,
cool.
I think
All
this
right.
works out good. I'm excited about Tuesday. I think it'll be a good
Yep.
event. I think we'll be able to help some people and give some hopefully things that they can use right away. Like I
Yeah.
always like that when I attend something that I can actually implement right away and just get to work.
Yep. And I have you are doing a free giveaway.
I will have one by Tuesday.
Okay. I actually, when I checked back, I was like, oh, I finished one before. I was just waiting. At the time I was working on a physical book or ebook that has been kind of backburnered. I'm working on some other things, but
Yeah, this isn't
so
gonna look
yeah,
anything like a book. This is gonna be like a one pager maybe.
yeah, no, I
Okay.
held on the freebie, which was completed
Okay.
because it was a lead-in for the book, which has now been backburnered. So the freebie is now going to be what I
The
will
thing.
give
Okay.
at Tuesday's presentation, and that will be my top 10 resume tips. So just for showing up,
Ooh.
everybody can get that bad Larry. And then obviously, if you want further help, specialized, individualized, then we offer that as
Got
well.
it. Oof, okay. I'll have to put some thought into this
Alrighty.
now. Top 10. I don't know if I got 10 of anything. Ooh, what am I sewing?
Oh, I got way more than 10. This is just the top 10.
This is just the top 10. Okay,
Yeah.
here, I'll show you what I'm sewing. So I'm
I could be
working
here all
on.
night talking about things that people screw up on their resume.
Do you want to talk about sewing? Because we got a question from Sarah about what I'm doing. So hold on. There. This is what I'm working on. Can you see that? Okay. And I'm making it all out of vintage prints, like feed sack prints. So hold on, I have one over here. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. This is what it.
There we go.
There you go.
Wow.
So I don't know what size it'll be. It'll be at least a twin size. I just keep sewing because I have a ton of it in my stash. My goal for this year is to make one quilt a month. I'm on number 3 for January, so far ahead of the pace, and
Yeah, I
not
mean, you
buy anything
wrapped up for
new.
the quarter here pretty soon.
Well, you never know what the next season of life will bring with 3 small humans. So
True.
I'm just taking it as I can. And it's also very good for me. So lots of little teeny tiny squares. That's what I'm sewing right now.
Absolutely. Okay, I've unmuted my wife. That's the
That's the background.
yeah, that's the hissing coming through now.
All right. It sounds like white noise in the background, Sue.
Yeah, I think it's
Me?
it's an old kind of all-in-one desktop. It's definitely on its last legs, so the audio is probably not top-notch on that thing.
Well, this has been fun. We might
Yeah,
have to just
it's
do this.
nice meeting you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And best of luck to both of you on Tuesday.
Hey, I think it'll be super fun. I'm really excited about it. I think we'll be able to help some folks and see some friends that we bump into often
Yeah.
on the internet. They'll be there to support us too. So that'll be nice.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Sarah, our 3 humans are also no longer small. They are all taller than me. We actually just went and saw one of them playing baseball. This is junior year at Chowan University. Yeah, they don't stay small.
Just
Then it goes by fast.
I'm
Yeah.
not ready. I am not ready for that. Just as exhausting as today was, I want to keep these days.
Take lots of videos.
Ever.
Yeah.
Take a lot of videos.
Yeah.
I'm good at pictures. I'm not as good at videos. So
Wait till the girls and the boys start getting involved with dating and
Yeah.
I have 3 girls, Sue. They're 8,
Oh.
6, and 3 right now.
Oh God.
And I'm not ready. I'm not ready at all.
You'll have time. Those conversations become ongoing after a while.
Perfect. All right,
Yeah.
write stuff
Sarah
down.
says write stuff down. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I need to do a better job of that too. There's so many things. Mom life, like it just didn't. There's not enough time. Ah, I'm just gonna sew. I'll write stuff down tomorrow.
Okay.
All
Awesome.
right, guys. Well, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Sarah. Thank you for anybody else who's still listening. This was super fun, and we will see you Tuesday. Hopefully, we're all tech prepped, and we will bring some great content that you can start using right away, and hopefully some inspiration to make some changes in 2024, whatever they may be for you.
Absolutely. All right, folks, enjoy the rest of your Saturday nights.
All right.